President Donald Trump is the new leader of my country, and I don't know really what to say. It was quite surprising. I didn't know if he really had a chance, but he is now the president of my country, and so he is now the leader of the United States. And so I guess I will go along with his decisions and his policy. And so my take on this whole thing is that the heart of America voted. And much like the decision to Brexit from the UK, it wasn't made by the politicians in London, by the bankers, by the members of the media. It was made by real people with real votes. And they have made their decision. And because we live in a democratic society, we will now honor that. And it's interesting how the media almost always gets it wrong. And I was watching the New York Times the last 3 months, and I love the New York Times, but they were heavily slanted and biased against Trump towards Clinton, enough to where it almost made me ill, because I didn't think they were actually giving a fair shake of the news. And at one point on their front page, it said 90% chance of Hillary winning, and every article about Trump was a slander about him. And it just made me think that I believe that the major news organizations in today's day and age should at least be fair, and they weren't fair. And it also tells me that people that get online and talk a lot, like me, we don't necessarily represent the people. And that is why we live in this wonderful thing called a democracy, because those people get to vote. And that's what happened in this case. And I'll take it a step further. Why Trump? Yes, Trump is bad. Trump is crazy. Trump is a megalomaniac, an egomaniac. He said horrible things about pretty much every creed and race. But Americans love a winner, and they will not tolerate a loser. And Trump to them represents a winner. And whether you agree with that or not, he is in their eyes. And he also represents a vote against politics or business as usual in Washington, D.C. And I think the similar vote was here for Brexit, as in we are tired of politicians spending 1/3 of their time on the phone soliciting donations. We're tired of this clubby atmosphere that happens in government where nothing actually gets done, and money rules the world, and corporate donations and lobbyists rule the world. And Trump is not going to be swayed by that stuff. Yes, he's going to have his own mad, crazy agenda, but at the same time, he's not going to be doing business as usual the way that I guess Clinton would have done, and the way that probably Obama and the rest of the Senate and the House does. And I think that's going to be a breath of fresh air. I think we're going to see some really interesting standpoints that aren't going to be based on donations to get me elected next time, which is what I think the NRA does and so many different lobbying groups that control America. So I'm actually looking forward to this. Also, America was built on a set of checks and balances. We have the judicial system, we have the Senate and the House, and then we have the president. So they will check Trump if he does crazy, stupid things. Yes, he can send troops into places, but I got a funny feeling he's going to be fairly measured. I'm curious what his cabinet's going to do, but I don't think it's going to be as crazy as it would seem. And I think, honestly, Trump is smarter than you think, and I think he's going to use a lot of this language and rhetoric to bargain with the Chinese, the Iranians, the Russians, etc. But I don't think he's going to do stupid things. I really don't. But hey, it's been voted, and now all we can do is strap in and ride. I hear that Mr. Pena is on his way to Washington, D.C. I know he wants Secretary of Defense. I don't know if that's true. I believe Jocko Willink will be taking over that position. And it's funny because when I interviewed Jocko back in January of this year, I said, if Trump got elected, would you go back and take care of ISIS? And he said, yes, I would. And I know Trump watches London Real, and so it'd be interesting to me to see if he makes that appointment sooner than later. So let's strap in. As I like to say on London Real, everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right, then it's not yet the end. So take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. Let's get after it, as Jocko would say. Let's get back to business, and the world will continue going around, and we get to watch this crazy, crazy show. So there you go. Much love from an American in London.